HarleyHunters.com. Yeah, we got a cool Harley today. This is a 2014 Harley-Davidson Night Rod Special. It is a very stunning looking bike. Yet they don't make Harley V-Rods anymore. They started, I think it was 1999. They lasted till 2017 when they stopped. And I think the last version was like the V-Rod Muscle or something like that. So it's a departure from this body style where in the front here where you see these, the Muscle has pronounced intakes right next to the fork tube. So definitely a different body style design, but essentially the same thing. Now, for you guys who know, and you may be Harley people, that's cool. You may or may not like the bike. I know it split the community, much like the Ducati 999 split the Ducati community. I know that the V-Rod definitely did that to the Harley community because some of the Harley guys and the Harley faithful don't like that motor, which is nuts in my opinion. What you're looking at is it's a regular high-performance V-twin. So it's not a pushrod motor. You can see right there, that's your V-Rod motor. And this is your pushrod Harley style motor. See those push rods right there? Well, this doesn't have that. So this was Porsche designed 1247cc motor, produces 125 horsepower at 8,250 RPMs is what they claim. 85 foot-pounds of torque at 7,000. This is a liquid-cooled motor, as you can see right here. This is radiator shroud. The look of the bike right off the bat, as you know, it's cool. It's low-slung. It's got the big rear tire. It's aggressive-looking. You know, it's a muscle cruiser, really. It's Harley's version of the muscle cruiser, which now the Breakout, I think, has replaced that in their lineup. And that's a great looking bike too, but I got to tell you, that's a stunner. It is a stunner. Now, these no longer meet the Euro standards, and this is why they don't have that motor anymore. So they're not selling it because of that. But you know what? Whatever. Because this is a cool bike. And just to show you real quick, there's your gas. Right here's where you put your gas. This isn't just a cover for the airbox. So it's kind of a neat little thing if you didn't know that. Really cool little badge in there. So, the V-Rod, again, it's polarized the community somewhat. I think as, these bikes are getting older and more along, they're becoming more collectible. And I don't see as many of them anymore, that's for sure. Really cool looking rack back here. It's a nice piece, and with this as well. These are pretty straightforward bikes, they're fun to ride. It's a different animal for sure. But if you're looking for something that's got that, you want a Harley, you want to be different, and you really, really want to have a high performance V-twin from Harley, well, this is the one you're going to get. Or any one of the V-Rods, the V-Rod Muscles, like I said. That's all going to be pretty much in the same vein. Now, the reason why this one's special is because it's all blacked out. If you remember back to the originals, they're all that brushed aluminum silver look, which is a gorgeous looking bike. But of course, you got to have different ones. People like different things. And that blacked out look is pretty sick looking. This has the Vance & Hines pipe on it. And it seems like there's baffles in it, so when you hear it, it's not obnoxious. You could probably make it obnoxious, of course, but it sounds tight. It sounds like it's aggressive. So, a couple little blemishes, not a whole lot, but as far as the bikes, they're all used bikes. Wheel is in really great shape. Fork tubes, there's not much going on as far as anything chip in or any of that stuff. It's a cool looking light. It's that Daymaker style. All your regular little tiny scratches here and there, except for this one right there. which that's going to be easily remedied with a little bit of touch-up paint. But other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, there's a little bit of fading right here, not much. And it's just the slightest little bit right there. Kind of tough to see in there. But, you know, again, Harley, some of you guys that are Harley guys, Harley faithful, you know, you're probably cringing. I don't know why. I mean, I think this is really one of the coolest bikes that they had ever made. I love the fact that it is different. It looks different. It rides different. It's long. It's got that big rear tire on it. That 240. It just adds to the look, adds to that drag style kind of a groove going on. It's just a cool bike. There's your disc over on this side. You know, you got your double discs. So, you know, you can imagine just kicking back, riding this thing. You kind of have to kind of get used to that. But your elbows are out, you're comfortable. It is a comfortable bike. It's not really a weird ride at all. Once you get going, I mean, the weight goes away and it's actually really comfortable. Now, this one has 10,966 miles on the clock. Has ABS brakes. You can see the little gauge on the right there is your fuel gauge. Your tach is on the left, which is a really neat little touch, and obviously your speedometer is in the middle. You have, you know, some lights in here as well. Your battery light, your fuel indicator, neutral light, oil, turn signal indicator. All that stuff's right there. It's pretty simple stuff. Over here, horn, high beam, low beam. You can see that right there. And right here, that's low, that's high, low and high. Your turn signals, there's your left front, left rear. Come over here, hit that, and that's going to be right rear. This will be right front. And then we're going to do foot brake. It's kind of cool how those do that. And this is hand brake. So everything works, obviously. But what you really want is to hear this thing. And it is a nice, deep growl. It does sort of, if you close your eyes, kind of give you that Ducati kind of a feel. And here we go. Remember to hit like and subscribe. Ding that notification bell for updated content. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's beefy. It's aggressive sounding for sure, especially with the Vance and Hines lights. Now look, obviously you can make it much louder. Again, probably take the baffles out, but just the sound of it, it sounds like it's a focused Harley. You know, it doesn't potato like your normal Harleys do. So this has some elements of that, but it is much more focused, high performance. It's that whole idea that this was born out of a superbike and they stuck it into a cruiser. So in the late 90s, they had the V1000R, which was a superbike that Harley had raced in AMA with, I think Scott Russell raced that bike. I think Miguel Duhamel raced it. I think maybe even Pascal Picat, if I can remember correctly back that far. It was actually really kind of a cool race bike. The production bike looked a little goofy to me. Looked like it had a buck tooth or something, but you know, they did sell it. And that bike is really, really a rare bike to find. It's sought after. But they stuck that motor in this bike. I remember when they started testing these and they stuck them out in the desert, turned them on and enclosed them in to, you know, heat cycle them and whatnot. And you could probably watch that on the internet somewhere. But, you know, this was definitely a departure for Harley-Davidson, which I was really happy to see and glad. I really wish Harley would make a super bike and be focused, have a, you know, a race team. But they're not, that's not Harley. Sadly, it's not Harley. I really wish it was. Maybe one day they will branch out and get focused like that and not worry so much about the Harley faithful giving them a hard time because they want to do something else other than just make, you know, big old cruisers, which is fine. They're beautiful bikes. We dig them all. But the reality is Harley has so much to offer, but yet they don't do it. For whatever reasons, they listen to their people and don't want to make them mad, I guess. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous because I know a lot of people love these. I do. I think they're a cool bike. I mean, I like bikes, period. But the reality is something like this that is departure from your normal, everyday Harleys. These are Super Glides, Dyna Wide Glide. You know, your Fat Bobs. You know, these bikes are your traditional Harleys. And even as so much as you get into like the baggers and stuff, but this one is that aggressive muscle cruiser, and it really does have a lot of great attributes to ride. It's a fun bike. Right down here is where your ignition is, but it's more of a focused type of a performance cruiser. So if that's something you're digging, you definitely want something like this. So all of our bikes get a 48-point checklist. We have a battery tender lead, you know, oil filter, all that stuff's basic. We go over them as best as we can so that when you get it, it's as close as we can make it to what it was when it was new. You know, it's a used bike, but, you know, she's ready to rock and roll. Fresh oil. We check steering head bearings, you name it. We really go over these things so when you get it, you're just opening up the garage, getting ready, put your gear on, fire it up, let it warm up a little bit, and just get going down the road and enjoy your ride. That really what it is about. We try to make sure that when you get it, all you're doing is just riding and enjoying it. So if you're digging the 2014 Harley-Davidson Night Rod Special, give us a call at 717-273-1809. You can see the full list of our inventory, our current inventory, at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have some financing options available. We ship bikes, and in some cases we can deliver them if you're close by. We have aftermarket warranties available. You know, we do a 30-day 50/50 warranty that is through us. So we really try to go the extra mile to make sure that when you get a bike from cyclehunters.com, this thing is ready to rock and roll and you're just enjoying it. So drink this puppy in. She's beautiful. It's a gorgeous bike. Give us a call. Like and subscribe. Drop some comments in the box. Thanks, guys. You know, you guys are really cool. Different things that you guys post and the stuff that you like, or going back through some of the older videos and some of the bikes that you might have. It's just good stuff, man. 2 wheels and a motor. Go figure. You know, however many different ways that can be done. And here we go. That's Harley's version of them stepping outside of the norm. So I love it. I think it's a cool bike. I hope you do too. And until the next bike, happy riding.